Hey there, this is JB from Tales from the Podcast, here with Michael Berryman. How's it going, Mike?
It's going pretty well. It's having a good time here at Astronomicon. It's a busy weekend. Everybody's out of the house and having fun.
Yeah, how's it been for the last few days here for you, man?
Been lovely. Had a lot of people ask very interesting questions and little trips down memory lane. It's people bring something that I hadn't seen in a long time. That's always a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool. I wish I could have been one of those people. I guess the best thing I probably brought was that Weird Science DVD.
That was awesome.
yeah, me and my wife are both pretty big fans of that, as well as Hills Have Eyes, and then also, not to mention, Tales from the Crypt, like you and I talked about earlier.
Love Tales.
Yeah, how was your experience doing Tales from the Crypt?
Well, I got a call from my agent. He said, you're going to do Tales from the Crypt, and I got to play Van Helsing. And I wind up killing George Wendt instead of Roddy McDowell.
Which is pretty cool, man. Like, not too many people, have obviously got to do the whole Van Helsing thing, not to mention, that being significantly different than a lot of the other roles that you got to play.
Right. I've done full circle. I played everything from a devil to a guardian angel and beyond. Even into Star Trek.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I was in Voyage Home, Star Trek 4, got to be directed by Leonard Nimoy. That was just wonderful.
Oh, wow.
And then I played Captain Ricks in Next Generation.
That's awesome. Unfortunately, sad to say, I'm a very, very big Star Wars fan. Tattooed all up in Star Wars stuff. I never really got too into the Star Trek personally, but it's still a fun thing to go back and, at least try to watch a lot of it nowadays.
It's a pretty good watch. I actually took a Los Angeles Times full page and it was for the Hills Have Eyes. It was playing in theaters in Los Angeles. And I was doing a movie with Mark Hamill, and in the corner of the LA Times piece was, in the lower corner was a little box, and it said, "In a galaxy far, far away." So I autographed it to Mark, and I said, "This is for you. I hope someday your career takes off. And by the way, what's in this? What is this in a galaxy far, far away stuff? What does that mean?" We had a good laugh over it, and it was delightful. It was really a lot of fun.
That's really, really cool, man. It's glad to hear somebody like that, me being a huge Star Wars fan, it's kind of a delight when you actually get to hear some of the good stories about some of the actors out there.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, you hear a lot of bad ones, so to me, it's nice when they're the positive stories.
Yeah, they say, bad news, if it bleeds, it leads, that kind of stuff, but sensationalism gets kind of old after a while. My philosophy is basically, if push comes to shove and it's a 3-alarm fire, I'm like angry Pluto. I just go for the jugular. The rest of my day-to-day experience and philosophy of life is, humanity rising, make it great, be positive, try to make tomorrow a better day, and it's less stressful.
Well, I bet. So, kind of going back to your experience with Tales from the Crypt, there's something that I always like to ask, especially some of the actors that, when we get get a chance to talk to them. But is it true that when they were doing a lot of the Tales from the Crypt stuff, that pretty much everybody got scale for almost everything that went on there just for the opportunity to be able to work with some of the producers that were part of it?
I don't know if that was a contractual agreement with the agents, managers, and the production company. I honestly don't recall what I got paid. I am happy with the fact that they actually honored the contracts and paid the health and pension benefits and the residuals for the screen actors. That's always appreciated. There are a lot of times when they haven't, not that company in particular, but as a working actor in the union, it's always nice to have the protection of your union, and it's nice to be able to go to a doctor and have your health insurance covered. And I don't know, they're having fun.
Right.
The grown men and women are dressed up in costumes, and that's what we do here. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
It might have been scale plus 10, 10% for your agent, but I don't know the actual if that was a deal. It was a top of the mark show at the time, very popular. So of course it's great to get in a show like that for exposure, but it's also good for them to have people with a legacy or a name to be in.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I know a lot of the actors, like Brad Pitt, and especially like Brad Pitt back then. I know he didn't get paid that much. It was like a beginning time for him, and I know they got a lot of actors and actresses that ended up being really, really big after the fact too. And I know that, like, especially with somebody like unfortunately passed away, but Donner doing everything and being a big part of that show too. He was actually able to put a lot of them into other movies and films that he did later on too.
Well, I've always been my philosophy is if you do a good performance, that gets you more work. I know that people that I've met hundreds of people that go, how do I get into the business? How do I get on TV? How do I do a movie? And everybody has a different story, beginning story. So I just recommend that you don't go out to a party and try to impress people and how your business cards, because you're not going to remember and they'll never use the card.
That's what I've been doing all day.
Well, I'm talking about being at a party.
Right.
Like a Hollywood party, so to speak. But these conventions are, they're by design network. So keep your hopes up, because it's different than going to a party.
Yeah, that's true. So I do have a couple of questions though. Now I'm very curious on how did you end up getting your role in The Hills Have Eyes?
Very simple. My agent was looking through the casting calls. Peter Locke and Wes Craven had seen me in one film, The Cuckoo's Nest, and they figured because of my birth defects and I had a craniectomy, they could see the scars. When I was 4, I went to Children's Hospital thanks to my father, who was a neurosurgeon, who was a Navy surgeon, and went on a secret mission at Hiroshima. And he was checking out the effects of a nuclear bomb on civilians, and it's part of history. Anyway, because of that, they said, well, he's got a look of a mutant, and The Hills Have Eyes. We were living in a bomb range where they did nuclear testing, so they put 2 and 2 together. We had a meeting. We got along real well, and Wes said, oh, you're our guy.
That's awesome. Do you have any interesting stories about filming that movie?
They're in my book. There are too many to share at this moment.
Can you tell everybody where they can find your book?
In the near future, I will be posting on my Facebook page. My Facebook page has a rectangle, which in the background you'll see weird science, and then in the middle circle right around here is a picture of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That is my Facebook page. All the other ones I have nothing to do with. So when it is time, and I know which publisher is going to distribute the book, I will post it. So that's it's in the process right now of being reviewed by 5 different publishing houses.
That's really interesting, man. I didn't even realize that you were writing a book right now.
I've been writing it for many years. It was completed a few months ago. My manager's been promoting, been talking to publishers right now.
That's really, really cool. Hopefully, when it gets closer to being released, if you want to, you're more than welcome to come onto the show.
I will be letting everyone on the planet know.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I also have to ask, how was your experience doing Weird Science? You know, that's such an iconic film.
It was delightful. I got to work with wonderful people, made friends for life. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Paxton. You think they're happy being catatonic in the closet? Last time I saw Bill, I reminded him that he was my favorite whiner. True Lies, Aliens, Weird Science. He did a lot of that, but he was a lovely guy, very talented. That toothy smile. A great guy. He's sorely missed.
Yeah, that's very true. I do appreciate the time that you've been able to give me, man. I truly do. And, you know, obviously we wish you the best with your book and everything, too. And,
thank you very much.
You know, and also, man, having a blast at Astronomicon. It's great being able to see you here. I'm excited. It's like I go to horror conventions quite often. It's the first time I got a chance to actually meet you. So I'm very honored.
I make the rounds, but I can only be in one zip code at a time. It's very nice working with you, and take care of one another. Every day's a good day. Make a difference. Peace out.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.